Every story you're about to hear is fiction, but some fictions feel a little too close to true. This is one of them. Marcus Webb had a system. 22 years of sales experience taught him that systems were the only thing standing between order and chaos. And at 44 years old, Marcus Webb did not do chaos. He woke at 5:45. Coffee, black, no sugar. Gym by 6:30. Office by 8. He managed a team of 11 at a mid-sized industrial supply company on the east side of Cincinnati. The kind of job nobody dreams about as a kid. But that pays the mortgage and keeps the lights on. A wife, Diane. A daughter in her first year at Ohio State. A 2-story colonial in a neighborhood quiet enough that you could hear the sprinklers 2 houses down. Marcus liked quiet. Marcus liked routine, which is exactly why the first voicemail bothered him so much. Not because of what it said, because of how normal it was. It was a Tuesday in October, the kind of gray Ohio afternoon where the sky can't decide whether to rain. Marcus was at his desk, reviewing quarterly numbers when his phone buzzed. 1 missed call. 1 new voicemail. He didn't think much of it until he looked at the caller ID. It was his own number, his exact number. Same area code, same 7 digits, no spoofing prefix, no scam likely tag. Just him calling himself at 2:17 in the afternoon, while his phone had been sitting on his desk the entire time. Screen up. Untouched. He frowned, tapped the voicemail icon, and held the phone to his ear. 3 seconds of static. Then a voice. His voice. "Hey, it's me. Don't forget, milk, the good coffee filters, and call Diane back about Sarah's tuition thing before 5. Okay. Bye." Click. Marcus actually laughed, alone in his office. Had to be a glitch. A carrier error? A voicemail server mixing up numbers? Maybe some weird auto-recording bug he didn't know his phone had. He almost deleted it. Almost. Instead, he went back to his spreadsheet. But around 4:30, the message crept back into his head. Milk. Coffee filters. Call Diane about Sarah's tuition. He hadn't written any of that down. Hadn't even thought about calling Diane about tuition yet. That was a sometime this week conversation. Nothing scheduled. And yet, at 4:52, his phone rang. Diane. "Hey, did you forget about Sarah's tuition deadline thing? It's due Friday. I need you to call the bursar's office." Marcus sat very still. "Yeah," he said slowly. "Yeah, I was just about to call." He told himself it was coincidence. A strange one. But coincidence. Brains do that. File away conversations, then serve them back up disguised as new thoughts. He stopped at the store on the way home, bought milk, bought the good coffee filters. Felt a small, strange satisfaction in fulfilling instructions that, technically, he had given himself. By the time he pulled into the driveway, he'd mostly forgotten how unsettling the whole thing had felt. Mostly. The second voicemail came 4 days later. Marcus was driving home, stuck in the slow crawl of Red Bank Expressway traffic, when his phone lit up on the dashboard mount. Missed call. His own number again. His stomach did something small and uncomfortable. He waited for the red light to play it. "Hey, reminder, don't take the 471 bridge tomorrow morning. There's construction backup. You'll be late for the Henderson call. Go around through Newport instead. Also, pick up something for Diane. Her work thing went badly today. She'll want flowers." There was no construction announced on the 471. He checked right there at the light. Nothing. No closures. No detours. Nothing about Newport. And Diane hadn't said a word about a bad day. She seemed fine that night. Perfectly fine. He almost didn't buy the flowers. But something, some small, nagging itch, made him stop and grab a bouquet of yellow tulips, her favorite, just in case. She smiled, surprised. "What's the occasion?" No occasion. Just thought of you. The next morning, Marcus took the 471 anyway. Stubbornness. He wanted to prove the voicemail wrong. He sat in traffic for 45 minutes. A water main break had flooded the eastbound lane overnight. Not construction, technically, but close enough that his gut went cold. He missed the start of the Henderson call. His boss wasn't happy. That evening, Diane came home quiet. Her manager had passed her over for a promotion she'd been counting on. She'd cried in the bathroom at work, hadn't told anyone. Marcus sat across the kitchen table from her, the leftover tulips between them, and felt something cold crawl up the back of his neck. He didn't sleep well that night. 2 voicemails, 2 correct predictions, sent from his own number to his own phone, while that phone never left his sight. And the voice, it wasn't just similar to his own. It was him. Same cadence, same okay, bye, instead of just bye. It wasn't an impression. It was him. For the next 2 weeks, nothing happened. No calls. Life resumed its rhythm. Work, gym, dinner, sleep. And Marcus slowly let himself relax. He almost believed it really had been some kind of one-time glitch. Then came the 3rd voicemail. It arrived on a Thursday evening in the office parking garage. His phone buzzed in the cup holder. His own number. He stared at it almost a full minute before he answered. This one didn't sound like a grocery list. Marcus. Flat. Careful. Like someone choosing each word with deliberate weight. Tomorrow, 7:40 in the morning. Don't take Madison Road past the Kroger. There's going to be an accident at the intersection by the pharmacy. A truck runs the light. It's bad. Don't be there. Take literally any other way. A pause. Dead air that feels much longer when you're the one listening. Alone, in a parking garage at 6 p.m. I'm trying to help you. I need you to listen to me. Okay. Bye. Madison Road, past the Kroger by the pharmacy. That was his exact route. Every single morning. Had been for 6 years. He told Diane everything that night. He expected her to laugh, or worse, to look at him with that particular concern reserved for husbands who'd been working too hard. Instead, she just listened. Quiet. Unreadable in the lamplight. Play it for me. She listened to all 3 messages in a row, arms crossed, expression tightening with each one. That's your voice, she said when it ended. Not a question. I know. Marcus, that's exactly your voice. The way you say bye. That's... She stopped, shook her head. Don't take Madison tomorrow. I don't care what's going on. Just don't. He nodded slowly. I wasn't planning to. The next morning he left 40 minutes early and took the long way to work. Erie Avenue instead of Madison, weaving through residential streets he barely recognized in the gray light. He told himself this was just the cautious thing to do. He told himself that, right up until he turned on the local news app waiting for his coffee to brew. The headline was the first thing he saw. 1 dead, 2 injured in Madison Road. Collision near Kroger Plaza. His hands went cold around the mug. A delivery truck had run the red light at the pharmacy intersection at 7:43 a.m., 3 minutes after the time stated in the voicemail, and struck a sedan turning left. The driver, a 36-year-old woman named Renee Castillo, had died at the scene. She'd been driving his exact route, at his exact time, in a silver sedan not unlike his own. Marcus set the mug down very carefully because his hands had started to shake too badly to hold it. It should have felt like relief. He'd been warned. He'd listened. He was alive. Instead, it felt like something far worse. The cold understanding that this was real. Not a glitch. Something had genuinely known what was going to happen, down to the minute, down to the street corner. And it had used his own voice to tell him. Diane went pale when he told her about Renee Castillo. You could have died, she whispered. I know. She squeezed his hand. Whatever it is, it's keeping you safe. Maybe that's all that matters right now. Marcus wanted to believe that. A guardian angel wearing his own voice, calling from somewhere impossible to keep him out of harm's way. But some small, cold part of him, the part that had built a 22-year career on reading people, couldn't shake a different thought entirely. Why him? Why now? And what did it want in return? The voicemails kept coming after that. Sporadic, unpredictable, and they kept being right. A warning about a faulty space heater in the office break room, unplugged 10 minutes before it would have caught the wall behind it. A warning not to eat at the restaurant downtown where he and Diane had anniversary reservations. He made an excuse, took her somewhere else. 3 days later, the place was shut down after a salmonella outbreak sickened over a dozen diners. Each time, the voice on the recording sounded a little more tired, a little more strained, like someone running out of time or running out of something else entirely. He started keeping a notebook. Dates, times, predictions, outcomes. He told himself it was documentation. Really, it was fear, trying to make sense of something that refused to make sense. It never looked smaller. Then, in late November, the voicemails changed. Sunday night. Marcus in bed, Diane already asleep, when the phone buzzed on the nightstand, his own number. He stepped into the hallway and played it. 10 seconds of hissing static. Then a voice that sounded strained, like someone speaking through gritted teeth. Marcus, I don't have much time on this one. Listen carefully. It's not just warnings anymore. Every time I call you, it costs something. I think I'm running out. Running out of what? He whispered into the empty hallway. There's something coming. Not next week. Soon. Something is going to happen to Diane. I haven't seen it clearly yet. It keeps slipping, like trying to remember a dream. But it's bad, Marcus. It's the worst one yet. I'll call again when I know more. I promise. Just be careful. Watch her. Okay. Bye. Marcus stood in the dark hallway of his own house, heart slamming against his ribs like something trying to escape. He told Diane everything the next morning. To her credit, she didn't dismiss it. Not after Madison Road, not after the restaurant. But fear curdles the longer it sits. Over the following days, Marcus felt himself unraveling. He started driving Diane to work himself, despite her protests, installed extra locks, stopped sleeping more than 2 or 3 hours a night. Marcus, she said one night, gently, hand on his arm, as he checked the street outside for the 4th time. You can't live like this. I'm trying to protect you. I know. But what if the thing you're protecting me from is the version of you that doesn't sleep, doesn't eat, and stares out the window all night? He didn't have an answer for that. The next voicemail came 11 days later, a cold Tuesday morning in early December. He took it into the office stairwell, hands shaking before he even pressed play. 15 seconds of warped, crackling static. When the voice cut through, it was thinner, hollowed out, stretched like something pulled too tight. Marcus, I see it now. I see it clearly. Breathing, his own breathing, ragged on the other end of an impossible call. It's not an accident. It's not a fire. Diane is going to be hurt by someone, Marcus. Someone close, someone she trusts, someone already in your life, already close enough to hurt her. Watch everyone. I mean everyone. I'm sorry I can't be clearer. The closer it gets, the harder it is to see. I don't know how many more times I can do this. Something about this is breaking. I think I'm breaking. Okay. Bye. Someone close. Someone she trusts. He thought of every person in their lives. Friends, neighbors, Diane's sister, his own brother, staying with them since his divorce. The contractor who'd been in and out of the house for months, finishing the basement. Anyone. It could be anyone. Over the next 2 weeks, Marcus became a different person. Quiet, watchful, studying the faces of people he'd known for years, looking for some flicker he'd somehow missed. He found nothing, because that's the cruelty of paranoia. It doesn't show you the truth. It shows you everyone wearing a mask, and you can never quite tell which masks are real. "You're scaring me," Diane told him in mid-December, at the same kitchen table where, months ago, a vase of yellow tulips had sat between them. "Not the voicemails. You. I have to figure out who it is before..." "Before what? Marcus, listen to yourself." His phone buzzed on the table between them. His own number. Diane's face drained of color. For the first time, Marcus set the phone on the table and put it on speaker. The static was almost unbearable. Long, screeching, like something tearing. 20 seconds before the voice broke through. Both of them flinched. It still sounded like Marcus, but underneath it, faint and wrong, was something else. A second voice, barely audible, words that didn't quite line up with the first. "Marcus, it's tonight." Diane's hand flew to her mouth. "It's tonight, and I finally see it. I finally see who it is." The static crackled, surged, almost swallowing the voice hole. "It's me, Marcus." The kitchen went absolutely silent. It was never someone else. "I am the thing that's been getting closer. Every time I call you, I get closer. I've been in the house, Marcus. I've been watching you both for weeks, learning how to sound like you. Your voice, your pauses, the way you say, 'Okay, bye.' The accident. The restaurant. I don't know how I knew. I just did. Maybe when you watch someone close enough, long enough, you start to see what's coming for them before they do. I stopped knowing where the warnings ended, and I began a long time ago. I needed you distracted. I needed you looking everywhere except..." The line went dead. Neither of them moved. The kitchen lights flickered once and steadied. "Marcus," Diane whispered. "The basement door." He turned. The basement door, tucked behind the laundry room, the one access point neither of them ever really thought about, stood very slightly ajar. A thin slice of darkness where it should have been latched shut. Marcus's blood went cold. Every strange detail he'd dismissed over 2 months came back at once. The contractor's crew coming and going at odd hours. The faint earthy smell from the basement stairs Diane had blamed on old insulation. Their dog barking at that door for weeks. Barking they'd written off as old age. Every voicemail had kept him away from danger. Away from Madison Road, the bad restaurant, the office fire. Every warning had kept him safe. But none of them, not one, in 2 months, had ever warned him to stay home. What happened in the next 10 minutes, Marcus would later struggle to fully remember. He remembers grabbing Diane's hand. The dog, suddenly frantic, snapping at the basement door. His own hands shaking so badly, he dropped the phone twice, calling 911. He remembers the door swinging open the rest of the way on its own. And he remembers, more than anything, the voice that came up out of that darkness. Quiet, almost gentle, almost kind. Saying his own name in his own exact voice, perfectly. The way only something that had spent 2 months listening and waiting ever could. "Hey, it's me." Police arrived 11 minutes later. What they found in the unfinished crawlspace behind newly installed drywall, a gap the contractor's crew swore under oath they never made, was never fully explained, then or in the years that followed. Signs someone had been living there. Food wrappers, a sleeping bag, photographs, a spare house key, Marcus's old gym membership card. Small things that had gone missing over the months and been quietly forgotten. and recording equipment. Cheap, but effective enough to capture hours of a person's voice through thin walls and old ductwork. Every phone call, every "okay, bye," said 100 different ways until one of them sounded just right. No one was ever caught. Whoever, or whatever, had been beneath that house was gone, vanished through a foundation access point that, according to the original blueprints, was never supposed to exist at all. Marcus and Diane moved out within the month, sold the house well below market value, eager to be rid of it. Marcus still has the notebook. Dates, times, predictions, outcomes. He keeps it in a drawer he doesn't open often, but he's never been able to throw it away. He never received another voicemail from his own number again. Whether it was truly some impossible warning from a version of himself trying to save the people he loved, or whether the warnings had simply been the elaborate, patient groundwork of something far closer and far more human, it had gotten exactly what it wanted that December night. Close enough to be heard, close enough to be believed, close enough, almost, to get in. To this day, Marcus Webb checks his caller ID twice before answering any unknown number, and every single time his own phone rings, just for half a second, before he sees the name on the screen, some small, cold part of him still waits to hear his own voice say, "Hey, it's me." If this story kept you up a little later than you planned tonight, you know what to do. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.